conclusion is that the increase in the levels of corruption, especially among the public sector institutions, calls for radical action by government in the fight against corruption. The present administration has been elected to office partly on the basis of fighting corruption. The only meaningful thing that I have seen has been the passing of the legislation to establish the office of special prosecutor. What are we doing about the Freedom of Information Bill, which has been there for decades? What are we doing about access declaration? A law which is ineffective, it is a waste of time because nobody knows who declares what. And so grand corruption, in other words, corruption at the highest level, is being perpetrated with impunity because there is no way of checking how public officers, whether public officers are complying with their obligation to declare their assets and liabilities. So I think that the government and state institutions must take more seriously the fight against corruption. And I'm hoping that it should not just be setting up the Office of Special Prosecutor, one must be looking at sensitization, massive sensitization of the public on the evils and costs of corruption and preventive measures, preventive interventions in order to reduce the occurrence and the opportunities for corruption. On the question of vigilantism, it's a serious evidence of, this lack of adherence to the rule of law. Just that in fighting corruption, we seem not to apply the same standards to people who are in different levels of society in terms of holding them accountable. In the same way, the police find it difficult to deal with people who are engaged in political acts, criminal acts, because they are afraid of the repercussions. And that also goes back to the whole appointment process. I have, for example, held the view that non-political positions in our institutions should not be appointments of these positions should not be made by the head of state. I don't see why, for example, the president has to appoint the IGP, because that is what prevents the IGP and those under him of acting objectively when it comes to acts of political violence. I don't see why the kind of appointment process we have for the heads of institutions or independent bodies, where the president appoints just with in consultation with the Council of State, which is most of the people they are also appointed by the president himself. And so we have ended up having very weak institutions. So my contribution is this, that we must look at certain weaknesses in the way our institutions have been crafted. Because that is the only way we will address the root causes of the many problems that we have. Whether it is vigilantism, whether it is corruption, or whether it is some of the other issues that we're dealing with. Sorry? Galaxy. Yeah, Galaxy. With the issue of Galaxy, I agree with the last speaker that there are barons, there are people in top echelons of society who are behind the practice. And I was speaking to someone recently who told me that, listen, this issue of corruption, we are just joking because there are people who should be enforcing the laws and are collecting bribes, and the authorities know, and they are doing nothing about it. So we really must get serious about this whole issue of corruption, which permeates every sector of society. If you look at other countries, maybe it's not appropriate for us to make comparison to European countries. But look at South Korea. The president has been impeached and she's facing trial on corruption. Israel, Netanyahu has been investigated 5 times. He's been questioned 5 times on corruption. Brazil, the president also has been, I think he's on trial on corruption. The rule of law applies. In Ghana, the rule of law doesn't apply. We must find ways of ensuring proper adherence to the rule of law, and the citizens must rise up. They must see more peaceful demonstrations to get government attention to deal with some of the problems that we are having. So I don't want to go into too much detail because I think that there are fundamental problems which have to be addressed in the way our institutions are set up, in the way they function, in our lack of observance of the rule of law as well as accountability. And these are responsible for a lot of problems that we are facing.